Okay.
Today I decided to come and meet with Mr. Bhadraji Jayathilaka,
Nice seeing
who
you.
is a legendary author, singer, actor, activist, motivational speaker, and an artist.
Yeah.
Correct?
I think so.
So I always wanted to write a book,
Mm-hmm.
and I did some research about it. I never written anything.
Yes.
Yesterday I took a webinar,
Mm-hmm.
and then I am armed with some information now. Then I was thinking to myself,
Mm-hmm.
hey, Bhadraji Jayathilaka has written over 125 books, and he has written songs, he has recorded, and he's a talented man, and it happened to be a friend of mine. So I say, why not learn from the best? I decided
That's
to
a
come
good
and
idea.
get some pointers from you.
That's very nice.
Okay, so how can you help someone who know nothing about writing a book? How can you help a person to write a book?
Well, the person who wants to write should read first
Okay,
and should have vocabulary. Okay. So whenever you come across a book, you read something and you don't know any words, you have to write those words down on another piece of paper or a book and find the meanings of those words and try to use them in sentences. That's how you build up your words in your vocabulary. So that's one thing you have to do as a writer. Then you have to read and understand there are different styles of writing. There are different formats and themes and things like that. So you got to first understand what writing is all about that way. Okay, and what attracts you, what styles of writing attracts you, who is the best writer that you like, whose writing style you like. Okay, and you see an award-winning writer, then you can read books that are million sellers and see what is ticking into you, what makes this book so interesting that people want to read this.
right.
Okay, so those are the things you do in your first research. That's what you do as somebody who wants to write. Then you have to have an interest in writing. You have to have an interest in writing. I'm going to write this book. Same with an artist, somebody who comes to paint in my classes. You have to have an interest in wanting to paint.
Right.
Then you study. Once you come to the class, you study, look at artists who have done paintings, and you study them, see the techniques. See, that's another main thing is learning the techniques.
Right.
When you come to creating anything. So you have to study the techniques of writing. How do you approach a subject? Is it the first person, third person, a narrative? Okay. What is the style you're going to use in writing?
Okay.
How do you start the book?
So it looked like a lot of learning need to be done. This is not 1, 2, 3. You write
Just
a book.
sit and write a book. Then you have to see how do you break down this story. You're going to write it like Daniel Defoe writing Robinson Crusoe,
Right.
or you're going to write like John Updike writing a book, or is it going to be like Kurt Vonnegut? Anybody? Just you're going to write like Charles Dickens.
Right.
So you have to see how they have written and approach the subject matter.
Okay.
And what is the subject matter you're going to write about? Then what is the theme in it? What is the theme? The good guys win. Something like that's a basic theme in the book.
So you do have to have a certain theme for every book that you write.
There should be a theme.
Okay.
Yeah. Then
and also to learn the different styles.
Yeah. Now they
and
have
what
something
makes this book better than the
the
other.
others. Yeah. Then
So
now
you
they
have to do research.
Yeah, you have to do research. And the other thing is you have to learn about genres now.
Genre.
Genre.
Okay.
In Sinhala they call it genre now. That's
Okay.
a new word for Sri Lanka. Because they didn't have genres in Sri Lanka. Okay.
Right.
Then there can be like here romance, westerns, country western, or science fiction, or murder mysteries and things like that. You categorize it. Or about life in general. Okay. In Sri Lanka, they are mostly about life in general.
Right.
It could be historical novels, or it could be a true incident that you're writing in a fiction form, or it could be a murder mystery, something that really happened. Like Truman Capote started the style of going and interviewing a real case, murder case, in cold blood. And that was the first person who wrote a book that way,
Right.
taking an actual murder case and going to meet the people, and then finally meeting the people who did the killing.
Right.
And then going to the prison, talking to them, and he created a book that was almost like readable like a novel.
Okay.
See,
Right.
so he created a different style of writing, which made it more interesting for people to read
Right.
an actual incident. So it depends what you want to write then.
Yeah. What about those people like myself?
Yeah.
I don't like to read a lot.
No.
I like to listen.
Yes.
I like to watch program.
Yeah.
And I can absorb a lot more information from social media
Yeah.
rather than actually reading a book.
Yeah.
Sitting down and reading
Yeah.
requires time,
Yeah.
efforts, and I don't have that
Yeah.
interest.
So,
But
go ahead.
a person like myself,
Yeah.
but I have ideas.
Yeah. Would you like to sit and write those ideas?
I like to sit and type,
Yeah. So one other thing you can do is either sit and type, or you can actually
dictate.
dictate it into a machine like this. You can
Right.
just do that and then transcribe.
Okay,
So that way you have it, what you have talked about, into a written form.
right.
Then you can edit it.
Okay.
You don't need all the junk you're going to be talking about in a book.
So I'm not without hope.
No, you're not without hope. Anybody can write a book though.
Right.
But it's a matter of wanting and having something interesting to tell the world
Okay.
that they want to read this book.
Right.
Otherwise, there are lots of books on the shelf, but we don't want to read all of them.
Yes.
So you have to create an interest, and you have to have an interest in the book, in the story yourself, to be worthwhile.
Yeah,
to
actually,
sit and write it.
yeah. So what I realize about myself is I'm very politically conscious person.
Yeah,
And even though I live so far away from Sri Lanka,
yeah,
I am still keeping in touch with Sri Lankan politics.
Yeah.
And also, I am conscious about politics in the United States as well. Because I think it is a social responsibility to be involved in activities what's going on with our government.
yeah,
Otherwise, nobody will be holding the elected personnel responsible for what they are supposed to do or not to do, right?
Yeah.
So that is one of the ideas I have. And then I have personal life stories to tell. Certain situations I have been in.
So the politics, when you're writing about actual political situations, and what do you think of the politics?
Exactly. So it will be like describing situations, current situations, and what I like and dislike about it.
Yeah.
Politics, politicians, and my vision
Yeah.
to fix situations.
Okay, good.
Things like that.
That has to have purpose, though.
Yeah,
You
it
can't
has
just
to have
write about any politician.
No. I have never been a writer.
Yeah.
I am not a good writer now because I will just put every thought comes to my mind into book.
Yeah.
That's not going to work.
That's not going to work.
That's where you come in.
Yeah.
You can help me with that.
Yeah. Yes.
Now, if I get your help and you guide me and I write a book, what's the best way I can honor you for your input, your wisdom, your teaching that you will provide for me? What will be the best way to respect you in that book?
Well, if you are just writing it by yourself,
Right.
you can just thank me in the book. That's about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just say thank you.
Yeah. And there is a possibility that I might like to co-write a book with you.
Yeah, that's different.
Yeah, that's different. So co-writing
Yeah.
mainly because you are a legendary writer.
That will help you.
My sister
Yeah.
knew you before I knew you.
Oh, there's a lot of people like that.
She read your
Yeah.
books.
People read.
Okay.
Yeah. Lot of readers.
Mangalika Vijay she passed away.
Yeah.
But when I told her that I met a person who is known to be a writer, she said that, oh, I read his books.
Yes.
I know him.
Yeah.
So, and then I found out a lot about you. I attended your 70th birthday. Congratulations, by the way. Happy birthday.
70 years old.
And it was very successful, very nice, very short and sweet.
Yes.
And it was organized and done in honor of you by your friends.
Yeah, I have
That
mainly
is-
thanked Makalandas. Yeah. Kalyan.
Yeah, not too many people have friends who will go out of the way to organize such things
Oh, yeah.
and honor you.
Yeah,
Okay?
that's very nice.
So thank you very much for taking time to speak with me.
Yes.
I know that we got a lot to do
Yes.
because I'm going to enter into the elementary school of writing.
Now you started.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you can guide me through.
Definitely, I'll help you. And you'll write a great book.
Have a great day.
But if you want to make it like like me helping you in writing, on the title page you can say your name, Don Susil. Okay, if you want to put the whole name
Right.
with Bhadraji M. Jayathilaka. See, and
Absolutely.
your name comes first, and with like so that I'm in the process
If
of writing.
we co-write it.
Co-write
book.
it. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You get the first credit. It's your book.
Yeah.
Yeah.